All right, happy Sunday to everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. Sorry about the wait here, but we have some. I want to make sure my sound is good. Sorry about the hold up, but all right, good. You can hear me. Crazy stories. First of all, a machete fight happened down here, not down here, but down in Austin. Thank goodness I don't live down there, but a couple of idiots, couple of nut jobs decides to get into a fight with the machete. I mean, it's like some Zorro type stuff going on here. Yeah, so there's the machete fight. There is Governor Abbott clearing out homeless encampments in Austin. Of course, people are throwing a fit, and the mayor of Austin is like, why is he sending people down here? Trying to be a tough guy, trying to send a DPS. You know, he's taking jabs at Trump too, but we'll get to that later. Also, my high school math teacher is a pedophile. Well, he's a pervert, to say the least. He was found with hundreds of child pornography videos and pictures and things like that. Crazy stuff. But let's get started with this machete fight.
Around 10 p.m. Monday, Austin police received reports of two people fighting with a large machete-style knife. When officers arrived, they found one person stabbed. Shortly after, another victim was also found with stab wounds. Both were taken to the hospital.
I feel like there's machetes and stabbings or someone with a knife or something by the water, things going on at Rainy all the time, so I'm not shocked. Unfortunately,
data from APD shows since the start of the year, there have been 10 aggravated assaults, 8 robberies, and 15 burglaries within 4 blocks of City Hall. Last year, there were 135 aggravated assaults reported citywide, compared to 90 so far this year. And just across the water, police say crime is also a concern.
That area kind of specifically right along Town Lake, like that's where we do tend to see a fair amount of activity that occurs along the shores, both the north and the south shore of Town Lake, where, again, violent crime can happen. We've had instances, like I said, involving, again, knife attacks, machete-style attacks, shootings and stabbings that have all occurred along the hike and bike trail.
Some in the community say the news is unsettling so close to home.
That kind of just ruined my night hearing that, because yeah, that's super scary. I think it's a very walkable city. I know people don't like to say that about Austin, but I mean, you look around, the streets are filled. So it's definitely concerning and definitely something that's not gonna make me sleep easy at night, knowing that happened.
I'm a very independent person. I never feel scared or I never have hesitations being alone, but I will not walk alone at night downtown, especially by the water. And if I do, I have pepper spray in my bag and a pocket knife at all times.
Police say the case remains an open and ongoing investigation. Right now, it's unclear what led up to the altercation.
Awareness and personal safety is something that everyone should keep at the front of their minds. The department, officers, we want to preserve the ethos of our city to where it is a safe place for people to be. The reality is it has become more dangerous.
Yes, it has. I'm glad that he admitted that that's become more dangerous. Yeah, crazy people fighting with machetes. So they both agreed to. How many people do you know walk around with machetes? They agreed to meet up and just start fighting in the middle of the street. I don't know. This is crazy, but look, Austin's a crazy place. They want to keep it weird. A lot of people move in there. Traffic's crazy. It's expensive, and a lot of homeless people there as well. So that's another public safety issue, which we'll get to next. But that woman who was talking at the end, she's very smart, very aware of her surroundings. She carries a pocket knife, pepper spray. I think all women should protect themselves if they don't have a husband or a significant other to protect them, you know, at the moment. So yeah, crazy stuff. Machete fight down in Austin. You don't typically hear things like that, but coming out of there, I'm not surprised. So let's stay in Austin. I spent a lot of time in Houston, not physically, but on my channel, because there's always something crazy going on in Houston. But today, Austin gets some love. All right, let's go to Governor Abbott orders removal of Austin homeless encampments. Let's check this out.
At the interchange of SH 45 and Highway 183, a big encampment was cleared out Tuesday morning. One of the last to leave was a woman who said her name is MJ. She struggled moving several shopping carts that were filled with what was left of her roadside home.
They don't tell you anything. They just yell at you and threaten to arrest you. That's all.
Video released Tuesday by the governor's office shows several homeless camps all across Austin being cleared out. The governor called in DPS troopers, the state guard, and TxDOT workers for the operation, which began on the 15th. As of Tuesday, 48 encampments were removed, more than 3,000 pounds of debris hauled away. Multiple arrests were made, including 24 repeat felony offenders. Narcotics were seized, as well as a police badge, which officials tell Fox 7 is a fake. In a statement, Governor Greg Abbott justified the cleanup operation by saying Texans should not endure public safety risk from homeless encampments and individuals. Austin Mayor Kurt Watson said the city got a heads up by the state, but did not know that the cleanup operation would be expanded from roadways to local parks and trails.
Sending in the state guard, the National Guard, DPS, that can make you look tough. And that's the current MO of some right now. But it does not.
You know, he's talking about Trump sending in the guard and, DPS, sending in law enforcement. That's trying to make you look tough. But what have you done, sir, to stop the problem in Austin? What have you been doing since you've been in office?
Solve the issues. Empathy is the key word, not toughness.
Mayor Watson was at an event where city officials were pushing their own homeless initiative, which is focused on families and children.
Here in Central Texas, there are over 2,500 students that we know of.
Homeless initiative.
All right, so that shirt right there is all I need to see. That, what is that? LGBTQ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indigenous shirt. I've seen enough.
Which is focused on families and children.
Here in Central Texas, there are over 2,500 students that we know of living in over 1,100 families who are experiencing homelessness.
The city operation is also clearing camps, reportedly with similar results to the state operation. But in a memo to council members Monday, Homeless Strategies and Operations Director David Gray justified their action as a cold weather measure, stating, rather than rush during the winter and holiday season, city staff are getting an earlier start this season to connect people with resources and shelter before floods and winter weather arrive.
Everybody needs to know that we're dealing with.
A decade has allocated millions of dollars trying to address the homeless problem, but people like MJ continue to move from one camp to another.
Every month at least 2 or 3 times.
Can you get any help? Does the city give you any help?
They want you to die. They want you to be killed off.
It's pretty sad to hear her say that. The city allocates millions of dollars. Before we get to Governor Abbott and his statement on this, Austin does spend a lot of money on homelessness. Pull this up for you. This was back in 2024. Overall, the council could allocate $30.3 million of its $5.9 billion budget to the newly created Homeless Strategy Office. Most of all, that will go towards contracts for emergency shelters and longer-term housing solutions. $27 million is a social service contracts over the service areas or programs to focus on listed there. I mean, you're spending all this money on homelessness, and you still have people on the streets. You have felons on the streets, drugs, fake police badges, all over the place. And so, what is all that money? Let me read the comments here. Sorry. Deep of all that money is truly going to homelessness. Why do they have all these programs of homelessness? Yeah, exactly. And I heard somebody from Portland visiting Texas one time say this, that the city put millions of dollars in 1 year into homelessness and changed nothing. This money is obviously not going to fight the problem. Maybe a small percentage of it, but I doubt most of that is actually going to do anything to combat the problem. And you have the mayor complaining about him coming in and sending in DPS troops and clearing things out because you're not doing anything about it. So let's see what Governor Abbott has to say about this.
We're learning new details about what state crews are doing to clear homeless camps in Austin. Last week, crews with Texas DPS, the Texas State Guard, and the Texas Department of Criminal Justice began working to clean camps and arrest repeat felony offenders. Our Daniel Perot spoke with the governor about the state's operations and joins us now in the studio. And Daniel, what did the governor have to say about this?
Real quick, I want to thank everybody who has joined YouTube, X, Rumble, whatever you're listening on. And if you're on YouTube, super chats are available, just to let you know. But thank you all for watching.
Caught up with the governor here in Austin this afternoon after he voted in next month's election. He says that this operation is about making Austin safe and keeping it clean. I asked him about the concerns that Austin city leaders have raised, expressing frustration at what they said was a lack of coordination from the state.
This is a state law, and I plan to extend this across the entire state.
After the state cleared homeless camps in Austin, Governor Greg Abbott signaling other Texas cities could be next, calling on them to address what he called, quote, the threat citizens face every day from the homeless population.
There are some communities that are stepping up and addressing the problem proactively. That's what we want to see.
Governor Abbott ordered Texas DPS and other state agencies to clear homeless camps in Austin. DPS says it arrested 31 people.
What we did stop was tolerating the danger that's being posed to citizens who live in the Austin area or who travel here from other areas. We want to make sure we're making the community as safe as possible.
Austin city leaders say they were blindsided by the operation.
This needs to be done the right way. And at a minimum, there ought to be coordination that goes on.
The state operation came as Austin launched its own cleanup initiative. Governor Abbott brushing off concerns about the duplication of resources.
There's inadequate resources, removing the challenges from the streets. We need all hands on deck to be able to address this problem right now.
While the governor was speaking, Giggs Hodges walked up to vote, expressing frustration because she says the state is not taking a more compassionate approach.
Just taking them away and putting them who knows where is not a solution by any means.
Governor Abbott says the city is stepping up to help. A spokesperson for Austin Mayor Kirk Watson says there's still not enough coordination between the city and the state, but says the door is open and they want to work together. It's still not clear exactly where people removed from the camps are going.
We will defer to them as long as the homeless are being removed from the encampments, and we will defer to Austin for the locations where they want to send them.
Key questions continuing to linger as the state and city continue their separate cleanup efforts. There were a lot of concerns about whether the state is connecting homeless individuals with resources during the operation as they were cleaning out those camps. The governor's office says that DPS did inform the people that they contacted about the resources available from both the city and local nonprofits as well. In the studio, Daniel Perot, KV News.
Daniel, thank you.
All right, so there's that. Governor Abbott taking action on the homeless issue in Austin. I feel like Governor Abbott has hold on. What was that lady? Bring them into a home. How about yeah. I mean, I agree. People complain about stuff. They complain about illegals. Oh, we have to be humane and blah blah blah. The homeless people, but none of them. Okay, there was one lady. I forgot what state she was in. She took an illegal alien family into her home, and I wouldn't do that. I'm not taking anybody to my home. But thank you, Regina, for the stickers and the super chats, telling people about that. Thank you very much, and the merchandise. But they won't take anybody into their homes. They won't do that. But they want to talk and virtue signal, but not in my house. All right, so let's go to Houston. First of all, I feel like Governor Abbott has maybe taken a page out of Trump's playbook, because he went to Houston and sent a violent crime task force. Just went to the city, and he's going to look at different cities and see what's next. Now he's sending troops into Austin to clear out the homeless issue. Yeah, so there's that. But I want to talk about Houston because they had a plan to fight homelessness, something they called the Super Hub, and there were some safety concerns over this. But I'll play this for you.
Houston City Council has again postponed a $16 million plan to buy a facility for people experiencing homelessness. Mayor John Whitmire says more community input is needed. A meeting is set for tomorrow at Talento Bilingüe de Houston in 2nd Ward. And that's where we find KPRC2 reporter Rochelle Turner. Rochelle.
Andy, on Monday, I introduced you to Maddie Egan. She lives in the 2nd Ward and shared her concerns about security, cost, and police officers surrounding that facility on Emancipation Avenue. She told me today that she's glad the city hit pause on the vote.
Item 14's tagged. Next.
City Council wasted no time delaying a vote on whether to purchase this building, 419 Emancipation Avenue, for $16 million.
We're going to do it right, or we wouldn't do it at all.
It's a property the city hopes will eventually serve as a resource center for Houston's homeless community.
I appreciate them tagging the item for 1 week. However, I think before the vote takes place, we need written documentation of their plan for security.
Egan lives about a half a mile from the site. She wants clear answers about how the city will keep the area safe, and she's also asking that the city expand its civility ordinance to cover her neighborhood. That ordinance makes it illegal to sit, lie down, or leave personal belongings on sidewalks in designated zones like downtown and Edo.
I have heard today that they are working on expanding the civility zone to our area, which I think is a wonderful thing. I just need to have documentation of how they're going to enforce that.
The mayor also addressed safety concerns, saying the site will have a visible police presence if approved.
We actually are going to locate the HPD homeless outreach program. There'll be 8 officers stationed permanently at this site with a sergeant. In fact, I think we're actually going to enlarge that detail. So this area is going to get more public safety than ever.
I think if there's a commitment to that and documentation of that, I think that would help.
Now, we did look at the crime data in this area. This is District I, and when it came to murder, aggravated assaults, and robbery, crime is actually down 18% compared to last year. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, I'll introduce you to Scott Singleton. He was actually at yesterday's City Council meeting during public comment, and he spoke very vocal about the $16 million purchase. He shares why he doesn't think the city is going in the right direction tonight at 5 o'clock. Reporting from the city's East End, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC2 News.
Definitely.
Thank you, West Virginia Wire, for that. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Yeah, it's definitely going to cost the taxpayers more money. I commend them for trying to do something about it, but I don't know what it's going to take to get this cleaned up in Houston. It looks like Governor Abbott is taking action on his own in Austin. We'll see where he goes next. Yeah, so I don't know how much money is going to be spent on this. And, public safety is an issue for the people in the surrounding areas. You live down the street from this place. You want to make sure there is a visible police presence. And like I said, there's going to be a sergeant there if it does get approved. A sergeant there with 8 officers, which is good, but yeah, you're also spending more money. So I don't know. I don't live there, and I'm glad I don't. All right, so next is this is a crazy story right here. This is wow, my high school teacher. Oh wait, let's stay in Austin before I tell you about my high school teacher. A burglary rams into a vape shop. Oh, shoot. Oops, sorry about the technical difficulties here. Give me 1 second. All right.
Damage done after an early morning smash and grab at a Cedar Park vape shop.
Yeah, the suspects used a car to slam into the front of the store. The company has several locations, and 2 were hit in less than a week. KVU's Brianna Perez shows us what happened in the latest burglary.
They went from using rocks to throw through our window to cars.
Surveillance video shows the moment at least 4 masked suspects rammed a car into Drip and Rip Vape's shop in Cedar Park early Tuesday morning.
We just restocked these, but they took every one of those.
Co-owner Lacey Hobble still reeling from the incident, saying the 2-minute ordeal left extensive damages to the building.
Seeing the damage, that's somebody's taking food out of your mouth. They're taking everything from you. I mean, we're constantly growing. We haven't stopped growing since we opened in 2014. Every bit of our money goes back into our business so we can continue to grow the business.
Shop owners say this kind of break-in is becoming too familiar. Just over a week ago, another one of their shops, this one located in Pflugerville, was hit the exact same way. They say it's a pattern that's becoming too common for them.
For it to happen again, breaks my heart. We worked hard just like everyone else to get everything we have, and it can be taken away so fast.
According to Pflugerville PD, the vehicle used in this incident was stolen out of Austin. The suspect fled the scene on foot. Hobble says the 2 break-ins, along with stolen merchandise and repairs, have cost the business about $50,000.
Gosh.
She says cleaning up after the damage has...
There was a story I did in Garland, Texas. The guy owns a gun shop, and after his first initial break-in, he put cement, barriers in front so the idiots can't bust in. And they tried it again, and it failed because the barriers were there. But I think this is what people need to start doing.
Almost become routine.
Unfortunately, we knew what to expect, so we knew what to bring. But I hate that. I hate that we knew what to bring, and I hate that. But I mean, as a family and as a business, we come together, and we just don't want this to happen to anyone else.
She says they plan to add new security measures, including cement barriers in front of the shop and roll down gates.
We pray that it doesn't happen again to us. We're going to try really hard to be prepared.
Police say both incidents remain under investigation. In Cedar Park, Brianna Pettis, KVUE News.
All right, so I want to play something for you. One of the greatest videos of all time. Give me 1 second here, and I will play this for you. Shit. This is how every shop owner should handle these idiots. Let me find it for you. Give me 1 second. That was great. That happened in California. One of my favorite videos, one of the most heartwarming videos I've ever seen. Idiot, bonehead, nut jobs, thugs, whatever you want to call them, walk into a convenience store. We're not prepared for the 80-year-old man to nearly blow him off the map. Hunter become the prey. Yes, that is exactly how you should handle these idiots. He ran away screaming like a little girl. He shot my arm off. But yeah, I heard the owner of the store had a light heart attack because of how shaken up he was. He's also, 80 years old. He was fine. He was on Jesse Waters, and he didn't want to answer certain questions, I guess, because it was pretty traumatizing. But kudos to him for blowing that guy nearly off the map. Yeah, there you go. Surprised he didn't get in trouble in California. Yeah. All right, so this is my last one before we close out here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. This is horrible. Good for that man. He was traumatized. But you're right, dude was screaming like a little girl. Yes, he was. I've watched that video about 10,000 times because of how funny it is. All right, so this is crazy stuff.
UTA mathematics lecturer Paul Leafgreen is facing serious criminal charges. He was arrested this month by Euless police for possession of child pornography. Court documents say he had hundreds of visual materials of a child under 18 engaging in sexual contact.
I wouldn't have guessed anything.
Mark Krause is also a professor of mathematics and says he's worked around Leaf Green for the last couple of years. A spokesperson says Leaf Green is on administrative leave.
Just a total surprise, but I guess innocent until proven guilty and all that.
Leaf Green is a longtime North Texas educator. Before UTA, he spent a year at Carroll Senior High School in Southlake, and before that, he worked for Hearst Euless Bedford.
A spokesperson with HEB ISD says Leaf Green worked as a math teacher here at LD Bell High School for 14 years. During that time,
they didn't mention my high school. I didn't go to any of these schools. I went to high school in Fort Worth, Eastern Hills. And he was my math teacher. He was a good teacher too. Really cool guy. And yeah.
he also coached tennis for a few years.
The Texas Education Agency confirms it is also investigating. Leaf Green's certificate for middle and high school mathematics is currently under review. We knocked on Leaf Green's door Wednesday, but no answer. His attorney has not responded to our request for comment. In Tarrant County,
What a shame. I'm going to read this article here I found on Fox. I was just going through my Fox 4 app and I saw this pop up. And as soon as I saw his face, I was like, whoa, Mr. Leaf Green. I saw his name. I want to read this because it gives more details on this guy. Police find hundreds of child pornography files on UTA professor's laptop. 49-year-old Paul William Leaf Green of Hearst was charged in Tarrant County with possession of child pornography involving visual depictions of children younger than 18 and engaging in conduct. This is, there he is right there. I recognized his face and I saw the Leaf Green. Not too many people have that same last name. Wearing a green shirt and his last name is Leaf Green. Okay, that's irrelevant. But he was a really cool guy. Great teacher, very calm, very easygoing. He was married at the time. I don't know about it if he is now. He definitely shouldn't be after this. All right, so the investigation began in April when U.S. police detectives were monitoring a peer-to-peer network known for sharing child pornography. According to an arrest warrant affidavit, investigators traced a download containing known child abuse files to an IP address registered to Leaf Green's home in Hearst. Police surveillance confirmed Leaf Green lived at the address, and a search warrant was issued in August. When officers searched their home on August 6, 2025, they seized several electronic devices, including Leaf Green's personal laptop and cell phone, according to the affidavit. Professor confessed to downloading material, affidavit says. According to the police affidavit, Leaf Green told detectives he used software to download explicit material and admitted to some of it involving minors. He said he deleted the videos after viewing them, but acknowledged knowing they were depicted children as young as 5 years old. Leaf Green told police he began viewing such material earlier in 2025, but he said he stopped because it was disturbing and felt wrong. The affidavit said that he denied being attracted to minors or sharing the material intentionally. Forensic analysis later found 254 images and 52 videos of confirmed child abuse, sexual abuse material on Leaf Green's laptop, police said. The files included multiple series depicting children estimated between 10 and 15 years old, according to investigators. The analysis also found traces of peer-to-peer applications and browser activity consistent with the file sharing, the affidavit stated. Euless Police Detective C. La Pena wrote to Leaf Green knowingly and intentionally possessed or accessed with intent to view visual material of minors engaged in conduct. The offense is classified as a secondary felony, punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Court records show the complaint was filed October 8th by the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office. What's next? Tarrant County Sheriff's Office says Leaf Green bonded out on October 3rd and his bond was set at $40,000. His next court date is April 10th, 2026. Yeah, that's disturbing. Yep. Do you think it's true? Like, yeah, this is crazy. The fact that he knew about it, knew what he was doing. You know, whether he stopped and he was like, "This is disgusting," he still did it. And now it makes me think back, was he like this when he was when he was teaching me? But those girls in high school may have been too old for him. You know, that's crazy. I think I was in 11th grade or so. But yeah, I don't know, crazy stuff. I hate seeing things like this. This one hit close to home because no more comments. Because I knew the guy. Because I knew the guy personally. When I saw his face and I saw his name, I knew exactly who it was. Yes, very sick. But I'm going to leave that right there. I've had some great stories for not great, but very interesting stories for you today. I hadn't done this Texas live stream in a few weeks. You know, certain things got in the way, but I am back doing these, and I will try to be more consistent. Specifically on the weekends, I want to make this every Saturday thing. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, "Whoa, Mr. Leaf Green!" Crazy stuff. But thank you all for tuning in. If you're just now tuning in, go back and see some of the stories we talked about. Machete fight in Austin. The Governor Abbott going into Austin, clearing out homeless encampments, and then after they spent tons of money on homelessness in Austin, and nothing had changed about it. We had a vape shop being broken into by a couple of idiots, and my perverted high school math teacher. So feel free to go back and play all the way through if you're just now tuning in. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see everybody on the next one. Thank you. Let me get my outro going. 1 second. And we are